Do you ever feel like your strategy that you spend so much time carefully designing is just moving too slowly when you try and execute on it? That's the problem that a lot of leaders were asking me this year. So we've put together a 2-hour workshop for leaders to really smash through that and make some breakthroughs. Here's how we think about it. First of all, we want to do a diagnostic with each leader where they can assess, why is it my strategy is working too slowly? And the secret to this that we found is that we identified the 4 most common ways and reasons why strategies go too slowly. Let me quickly tell you about them, and then about how we put a workshop together to empower leaders to break through. So these 4 reasons. The first reason we think strategy moves too slowly is there's a lack of leadership spark. The leaders are not aligned on the importance and excitement and passion they need to have to execute this strategy themselves. So the first thing we need to do, get the leadership team really kind of sparky around the strategy. Second thing we need to do is look more widely around the people. And it's true that in most organizations, the wider team, the people on the front lines of the organization, talking to customers or working in the back office in operations, they just don't care about the strategy. Maybe you've done a town hall, you've sent an email, you've talked about it regularly, but they don't care. And we've got to solve that problem so that they care about it, they know what to do with it, and they can action it in their day-to-day jobs. Okay. So if a strategy is not doing that, it's just held by the leadership team, you've only got a tiny proportion of your company actually working on the strategy. We need to get everyone involved, right? The third reason is that your priorities don't have clear air around them. Over time, your strategic priorities about transforming your business, making a better business, right? They're crowded out by all the tactical short-term daily crises. And that is true of every company I've ever worked with, and most leadership teams don't have the skills really nailed to make those trade-offs and say, actually, we're going to take this one off the table and let's do it next quarter. Or this new piece of work seems super exciting, we're kind of interested in it, but you know what? If we do that, we're going to have to stop working on our strategy. So that clear air for priorities is your third thing. And your final piece of the puzzle is having processes that really keep the heat up on your strategy. We're talking about the goals, the KPIs, the accountabilities, the tracking, the measuring, the pivoting, all those things. And most companies go some way towards that. They've got some big spreadsheet with all the priorities in, but they don't go all the way to really track and optimize that over time. So in our workshop, what we put together is a diagnostic where you can assess your own company on those 4 aspects: the leadership spark, people energy, the clear air for your priorities, and dialing up the heat with your processes. And then you can start to draft a plan about saying, well, what is it we need to do to accelerate our strategy? And then we want you to walk away with a 6-week acceleration plan for you and your leadership team. What could you do in the next 6 weeks to really unstick some of those points of friction? Is it going to be around really connecting all your team to the strategy? Is it about just dialing up your processes? Or is it about subtracting some of the distractions from your to-do list so you can get refocused on your strategic transformation? And in this 2-hour workshop, we've had great feedback. We've had 50 leaders go through it already, and really helping people with concrete, practical case studies and tactics that they can use to make a breakthrough on one of these 4 reasons why your strategy is moving too slowly. And we'll get you back up to speed through this 2-hour leadership workshop.